Yes, YouTube. I just wanted to make a quick video about how to do draw on liquidity and daily bias. Not even daily bias, but just bias for when we're trading. Um, this video that I watched is from Justin Whelan, whatever his name is, this guy here. And it is sick. It's really fucking good. It's this. Draw on liquidity. And I just wanted to go through how I do it because I know that when I use it in my trading, I trade a lot better. And when I'm actively thinking about it in my trading, I trade a lot better. So when I'm taking setups, I don't really care for fair value gaps that much. I find that there was Ario who taught it, like different lines of defense, and like fair value gaps are like the first line of defense because they're always in front of an order block, and then your order block is kind of usually the last line of defense or something along those lines, like maybe a breaker block or whatever. But that's why I like order blocks over fair value gaps. But when it comes to bias and finding my bias and my next draw on liquidity, fair value gaps work really well. So what this is what I've took from that Justin's video. So if I'm trading on the 30-minute chart, which I would do, I'm kind of in between 30-minute and the 15-minute at the moment, and then sometimes I'll drop to the 1-minute for entries and whatnot. But yeah, even so, whatever it is, we need a higher time frame as an idea of where we're going. So if this is the 30-minute chart, we only need to look at most recent stuff on whether we're looking at the 4-hour or the daily. Now, I feel like it's probably good for me to look at a bit of both, because especially if the 30-minute, like if I was only trading the 15-minute, I'd stick to the 4-hour because I don't really need the daily. But I feel like the daily's a bit too large of a thing just for the 30-minute. I don't know. But either way, so all we'd do, say if we was doing the daily, we're looking at PD arrays, what's respecting and what's disrespecting, and then all we're doing is looking at highs nearby PD arrays. So for example, there we've got two PD arrays that price is now currently trapped inside in between. You would expect, if we're looking at two highs that are the next two highs, we've got either that one to be taken, that's going to be the buy side liquidity, and this is going to be the sell side. So judging off this straight away, I would say that this liquidity is going to be next, because we've sold off here with respect to the fair value gap there. We've came back, took liquidity and sold again. We're now inside an order block, but price has also tapped into a fair value gap above. So for now, I'm saying I want to sell, but then again, we've got the same thing here. So we've got another fair value gap right there. So it's just about seeing where the next liquidity target is, and then what PD arrays back up that target. So we're still selling. Okay, we've come higher and we've closed inside of this fair value gap. Let's look on the daily. Closed inside of it. So now I would potentially flip my bias, because we've reacted strongly off of this, and now we've closed past that. So there's the last line of defense that held, and this first line of defense has just failed. So now we'd potentially be looking for buys, and then we can just do the same thing again. So we've got a fair value gap that's been taken there, that closed past, sorry. That's going to be some liquidity right there. Obviously it's a bit late to be jumping in that, but it should be this next high that gets taken. Realistically, look, we're pushing past all PD arrays, bearish ones, disrespecting them all, and then yeah, we take the high. Then we've respected this order block here, which was inside of that thingy. So let's see. Now, since we've took that high, the next drawn liquidity is either going to be that if it's buy side. We've got one right there for sell side. We've also got another here for sell side, and then obviously finally there. But I'm going to take that one off for now because it's looking less likely. So again, we're just checking what PD arrays are holding. Fair value gap has held. This fair value gap right there has held twice. Order tiny order block below it. Yeah. So yeah, fair value gap, and then this is a little order block. So realistically, we still could be looking at going higher. And there we go, we take that high. That's what we get. Yeah, we take that second one, and it's just using the most recent. Like, it's not, I understand people who like do bias like this and go, oh, we're making higher highs and high lows and whatever, but it's so much easier just to zoom out and go, okay, what's respecting right now and what's not respecting right now. Look, we've held this, order block held, we've come higher. Obviously now it would be good to come even higher to a weekly time frame, because it's like, okay, why are we going above that? Why are we going above that? Are we going to respect that? All of these questions now come in, look. But then realistically, again, we're looking at this. That failed to break any significant structure, so we should potentially be coming higher. So I'm looking at that from a higher time frame. And then again, this took liquidity, we've broken this high, so we could be coming higher. We've only just made that liquidity, so we might come lower first. But let's see. We could drop to the 4 hour. We're seeing fair value gaps get disrespected now. So what's going to happen now? We've got a bearish fair value gap right there, disrespected, so we might be going higher. We've got order block there, so we could come lower to that. Tapped into that order block. Let's see if we could have actually took a trade here then. So this is a 4 hour order block. I'd have dropped to 30-minute chart for this. I would have probably entered on that. Potentially, I don't know. But yeah, you get a 2 to 1. It's not very great, but zooming out. Okay. So we took the loss. So where do we go now? So we've disrespected that. Closed inside of that order block. Failed to take out that high. So realistically, this low should be next, or at least that low. Cool, we took that low. Again, it's like, it's tough because you've got to go between a couple of different. I need to like fully lock in on which one my higher time frame is, because I don't want to like go between two higher time frame thingies. But yeah, without losing my head, I know we just took a loss, but without losing my focus and stuff. Now we've got 4 hour fair value gap. This is our next low, so we should potentially take that. We've got every reason to take that. Yeah. So we drop to the daily. Let's look at a slightly larger bias. Next could be there, but we're now inside of an order block, and we're inside of a fair value gap with an order block below it. So I guess we could start expecting a bit of a change now. We took enough liquidity as well, so if we potentially react off that, or if not, we're going to come and take that. Let's see what the 4 hour is saying. This makes a lot of sense for a trade. Okay, we're reacting very strongly after that fair value gap. Looking like we don't want to close past it. Jumps inside this order block, strong reaction off it. So now we've respected that, although look, we've just closed inside of it now, so if this closes past it, then this could still be the next draw. Again, looking at this, we've flipped that fair value gap. We now have a new fair value gap there, which has been multiple times tested, so it's looking like this still might be the next draw. And there we go. It's just looking at immediate stuff, like what's next. Like, yeah, we can have look. This is what's difficult, and this is why I'm saying I need to streamline it and make sure I know which time frames I'm looking at, because if you're looking at too many, it's just gonna be a bit confusing, because you need something that lines up with what you do, what time frame you're using. But it's just the easiest thing is just saying, okay, what's next? What's next? That's been taken. Next thing that could show us a bit of direction is this fair value up there. Got another there with an order block, and we've also got an order block that could potentially hold. It's taken out a lot of liquidity, so that could be next. Drop to the 4 hour, look, we've tapped inside of it. Again, we could have dropped further and said, okay, fair value up there, you're holding, are you not? So we're inside of this now. So if we fail to break, if this fails to hold, then that's next. If not, then we're gonna come higher, maybe fill in a couple of these gaps. There's nothing crazy right now. Maybe this high here, this high for sure. And then we start looking for trades. Okay, it's looking like it's not gonna hold. Okay, cool. Come down lower. Now I'd really believe, like, if we was to, obviously depending on the weekly as well, depending on where we're going, we have come higher and took this, but really this weekly could have told us everything, from the point where this, even though it looks like it'd take long and it might not come all the way back, this on the weekly is the most obvious place for price to come. So then we keep going, dropping low. Took that. So now we can probably expect a nice reversal. Depending on how far it wants to come now. I would guess it might come a little bit further before shooting off. You'd hope anyway. But nah, okay, so we're pushing high now. But I don't know. That's all it is really. I'm just saying, okay, what's been respected, what's been disrespected. I might redo this, try and get a better one. But for now, that's what makes sense. I hate fireworks, man.